a sand throttle straight to the throat. The first thing you taste is dust, fine, chalky Nile dust that clings to your tongue like wet linen. Before your eyes even open, a curved Kopesh sword slams the quarry wall inches from your head, shouting you awake. Stumble once, and the overseer marks your forehead with red ochre. Unreliable. 2 crimson stripes means you're tomorrow's crocodile bait. The sun isn't up, but your back already feels scalded. You were captured on the Libyan frontier 6 nights ago, traded for a bag of barley. Today, you'll haul 1,200-kilogram limestone blocks, barefoot, across wooden sleds greased with rancid animal fat. Miss a single step, and thousands of pounds of Pharaoh's glory will flatten you like a lizard under a chariot wheel. If that wake-up call rattled your bones, hammer the like button harder than an overseer's cudgel. And hit subscribe to join our caravan of time-traveling thrill seekers. Because next episode, we're diving into the real curse of Tutankhamun's tomb. Spoiler, it involves mosquitoes, not mummies. Ready to swear fealty to the pharaoh? Too late. You already have. Let's survive. Or at least try. Day 1. A name replaced by a number, approximately 140 words. Your Libyan name, proud and impossible to carve in the hieroglyphs, is gone. The scribe tattoos a single tally mark on your left forearm, Unit 27-Delta. In Old Kingdom accounting papyri, you are livestock, listed between 6 oxen and 3 baskets of onions. Property, not person. Historians estimate as many as 1 in 5 laborers at royal projects were slaves or bonded servants. Manumission exists, but only if a master's will is unusually generous. Average free Egyptians might live into their mid-30s. For quarry slaves, skeletal studies at Deir el-Medina show you're lucky to reach 19. The whips you hear cracking are made from hippopotamus hide, thicker than bull leather, harder than your will to rebel. Welcome to the bottom of a society built on a triangle, and you are not even on the base. You are the sand beneath it. Day 2. Breakfast of Champions. Beer gruel. Dawn paints the eastern cliffs blood orange. Breakfast is a slurry of half-fermented emmer wheat, 3% alcohol to kill bacteria, just enough to dull pain. Clean water? Forget it, the Nile teems with schistosoma parasites that burrow through skin and wreck internal organs. One sip can cripple you within months. You eye the reed baskets of figs set aside for overseers. Steal a piece, lose a finger. Calorie math. You burn roughly 4,000 lifting stones, yet receive barely 2,300. By sunset, you're already in caloric debt, a deficit you'll never repay. A farmer back home worried about floods. You worry about collapsing before you're 30 paces from the work ramp and being trampled by the sled team behind you. Day 3. Sunstroke Lottery. Ra's chariot climbs overhead. With no shade other than the shadow of the block you're pulling, your brain begins to simmer. Heatstroke symptoms, dizziness, pounding heart, skin hot but suddenly dry, claim dozens each season. No helmets, no linen head wraps for slaves. Archaeologists at Giza found mass graves with hastily buried laborers, spines compressed, skulls fractured, evidence of catastrophic sled accidents. Drop the sled rope to wipe sweat, the lash whistles. You clench until your vision swims, praying not to faint. In Egypt, prayer is transactional. Offerings in, blessings out. You have nothing to offer but labor, so you keep pulling. Day 4. Vermin, waste, and invisible killers. Night is no rescue. You sleep inside a mud brick barracks, 20 bodies to a room. Lice feast on your scalp. Fleas carry Yersinia pestis centuries before it devastates medieval Europe. Latrines overflow into irrigation channels, breeding dysentery. Lose more than 10% of your body fluids and you're too weak to stand. Overseer discards you behind the bakery, where jackals finish the job. Egyptians know basic surgery, splints, honey poultices, copper scalpels, but that knowledge is reserved for the nobles funding the pyramid. To them, medical papyri are sacred science. To you, death is cheaper than linen bandages. Day 5. The one mistake rule. Your new friend, a Nubian teen named Kefri, miscounts basket loads of gypsum plaster, 5 instead of 6. The scribe marks his ledger, frowns, quotas unmet anger the vizier. Punishment is theatrical deterrence. Kefri's feet are bound, and he's forced to kneel all day beneath the scaffolding, sun frying his shaved head. By dusk, his kidneys fail. He never kneels again. This brutality isn't random. It's systematized. Ostraca, pottery shards from Deir el Medina list transgressions and fines. Absent 1 day, 50 lashes. Or spoke against scribe, ear cut. Mistakes aren't learning opportunities, they are death warrants. Your margin for error is narrower than a scarab's wing. Day 6, God's demand over time. Festival season sounds joyous, except it doubles your workload. Temples need fresh obelisks, banners, and sacrificial altars. Slaves drag granite from Aswan, 200 kilometers south. The pharaoh is a living Horus, keeper of Mayat, divine order. Refusing temple duty is cosmic treason. Many slaves are marched to said festivals, then slaughtered to accompany a king renewing his divine vigor. In records of Pharaoh Den, attendants were buried beside him, their skulls pierced by ceremonial blades. The afterlife promises paradise, but only for those afforded proper mummification. Your body will be dumped in a sand pit, soul forgotten. Day 7, medicine or magic, neither for you. A chisel slips, limestone teeth shear the flesh of your shin, blood darkens the sand, infection sets in within hours. Egyptians treat wounds with honey, a natural antibiotic, and moldy bread, but that's costly. Instead, a priest recites spells from the Ebers papyrus several meters away. Magic words are cheaper than linen wrappings. Tetanus or gangrene will stop your heart in 3 days. Statistically, 60 to 70% of quarry skeletons show signs of trauma that never healed correctly. You try to sleep, but fever dreams blur the lines between waking and the field of reeds, the idyllic afterlife you'll never see. Day 8, life expectancy countdown. Let's check the sand glass. Free artisans might live to 35, scribes cushioned by office work to 45. Slaves performing heavy labor, many never see 20. Child mortality hovers around 30% even for citizens. For enslaved infants, the rate is closer to half. Your spine already curves from hauling. Vertebral compression fractures found in Giza laborers match modern long-distance truckers, except they're in teenagers. Statistically, if starvation, disease, or punishment don't kill you first, cumulative wear will. The pyramid takes 30 years to complete. You won't. Day 9. Escape is a mirage. Nightfall. You and 2 Syrians plan a desert dash, 20 kilometers of moonlit dunes to the Wadi, then freedom. But Egypt's bureaucracy is ruthless. Missing slaves are recorded on ostraca and dispatched to desert patrols. Archers riding donkeys, guided by star maps and fire beacons. In 2013, archaeologists found a New Kingdom papyrus listing fugitive chasers' rations and routes, proof the pharaoh paid well to retrieve lost assets. The desert isn't empty. It's a surveillance network of watchtowers and nomad informants. If caught, punishment is blinding or hamstringing, ensuring you never run again. You abort the plan. Better a back full of scars than eyes full of sand and sockets empty. Day 10, quiet collapse. The 10th dawn arrives, you don't. Fever claims you during the night. Protocol is brisk. 2 slaves drag your body to a trench south of the work camp. No amulets, no Book of the Dead spells to guide your ka. Just sand, lime, and silence. Within hours, the vacancy in your sled team is filled by another captive offloaded from a Nubian raiding barge. Your tally mark on the papyrus ledger becomes a neat red slash. Debit cleared. The pyramid grows another cubit taller, and the ancient economy grinds on, lubricated by sweat and anonymity. Stand in the shadow of a pyramid today, and you feel awe. But remember, each block is a gravestone without a name. The limestone radiates stored sunlight and the forgotten heat of a million expendable lives. You wouldn't survive 10 days as an ancient Egyptian slave. Most didn't, yet their unseen hands built an empire that still dazzles 4 millennia later. History crowns the pharaohs with gold. Their slaves wore only dust. When you marvel at their monuments, hear the whisper behind the wind. We were here too. If this journey left you parched for more untold truths, press like to honor the invisible builders of history. Subscribe for fresh expeditions into humanity's harshest corners, where every fact is a cliffhanger and every legend has teeth. Drop a comment. Which ancient civilization should we barely survive next? Until then, may your water be parasite-free and your labor unionized.